let's get going with our um, with our slides. Stella, do you want to bring up our presentation?
Yes, it's back up.
Okay. Okay. So we're
So,
talking about the ensemble experience, um, all the different ways you can do. And before we talk about why playing in ensembles, I neglected to create a slide that I meant to actually about just what are the different ensembles you as a piano teacher or a music teacher of any kind might encounter with a student in a private studio. So, of course, the simplest of those would be duets. We do lots of duets with students. We do sometimes small chamber music. Sometimes our students get to play with concertos. That's maybe the least frequent of all, but a very important part of literature, of course. Um, and sometimes our students might want to start a band or play with an ensemble of friends or peers. So lots of different types of ensembles, and then lots of different technologies to create those ensembles virtually. And we'll give a few examples about crossing them all together, although we're of course not going to give an example of every possible permutation. Stella?
sure. So why do we play ensembles? As solo pianists, we play a lot of solo piano repertoire, and it's all wonderful and great. But what it makes us somewhat separated from the rest of the musical world. So, and there's lots of wonderful literature that's created for ensembles, and in order to be part of this uh, experience, we do need to play the repertoire. Um, we do learn very critical performance skills when we play with other people. I remember reading a quote, I think it was I Really Should Be Practicing by Gary Graffman book. There was a paragraph about him being a young musician and learning how to perform and playing with an orchestra and the conductor coming up to him and saying, you really should like spend a year just playing with a quintet so you really understand how the music works. So to me, it was a very pivotal sentence, if you will. So I love playing chamber music, and I think all students should experience playing with other people and hearing other people making music around them as they do it themselves.
And of course, it's also really important to think about your students who may be going on to careers in music. In the 21st century, I think it's especially important to think about all the broad ways that a music career might manifest. And having experience in ensembles is a huge part of being a versatile musician.
So why do we want to use a virtual ensemble? Again, the if we live in a place like Minnesota, I live in Maple Grove, Minnesota. I have lots of musicians near me. But what if you live in a smaller place where other musicians are just not as frequently found? Then playing a chamber music becomes more complicated because you have to find a partner.
That's true. I grew up actually in a small town in the South and never played really with other musicians, or at least who were at a similar playing level.